right now. This is when 2025 Dynasty champions are built in the offseason by making shrewd moves to take your team from a pretender to a contender. I got 10 players you need to buy low on right now. These guys have way more value and upside than the rest of your league thinks, so you can get them at a relative discount. Not only am I going to tell you these 10 players and why you should go buy low on them, I'm also going to give you options of players or picks I'd be willing to trade away to go get these guys. So let's do it. Let's build a 2025 Dynasty champion right now. I'm going to start with Jordan Addison, who's currently being ranked as the wide receiver 24 in Dynasty leagues right now. And I don't understand why. This guy had tremendous upside, especially over the second half of the season. And he's not even 23 years old yet. Plus, when you look at his situation, you got to believe that the Vikings are just going to run it back with the exact same roster next year. There's no way they can let Sam Darnold walk after what he did this year, whether they franchise tag him, sign him to a one-year deal, sign him to a long-term extension. Whatever the case is, we're going to see Darnold back. We're going to see the offense back. We're going to see Kevin O'Connell back. And Jordan Addison is now entering that pivotal prime year 3 for a wide receiver. This is typically when we see wide receivers really start to take off. So here are the players I'd be willing to trade away to go get Jordan Addison. And I want you to know all the players I list throughout this video are ranked higher than the player I'm saying you should go get. And I'm going to say you should trade away either Tyreek Hill, Zay Flowers, or J.J. McCarthy to go get Jordan Addison. Tyreek Hill, almost 31 years old, coming off the worst season of his career, wants out of Miami. No, thank you. Zay Flowers, I like Zay Flowers, but he's almost 2 years older than Jordan Addison. And really, is he any better or more consistent than Addison? Or does he even have more upside than Addison? I'm not so sure. And then J.J. McCarthy, talked about it. I got to think they're going to be running back another year with Sam Darnold. That knee surgery has not gone swimmingly. He's having setbacks on that knee. I know people still believe in this guy, but I think we're going to see another year of Sam Darnold. So go give me Jordan Addison over all these guys. And then I'm going to go out and try to get Christian McCaffrey. This is a guy who we know when he's healthy could be an absolute league-winning running back. He's currently being valued as the RB14 in Dynasty. And he's still only 28 and a half years old. Now, sure, he's getting up there in age, but look, we just saw Joe Mixon, Alvin Kamara, Derrick Henry, Aaron Jones. These guys are 29 plus years old, just had nice seasons. If Christian McCaffrey is fully healthy going into next year, he can absolutely win you a Dynasty championship. And players I would be willing to move for Christian McCaffrey right now in Dynasty: Jalen Waddle, TJ Hawkinson, and Derrick Henry. Jalen Waddle, at this point, we got to wonder, like, what is really the upside here for Jalen Waddle? This is now we've seen since year 2. We just haven't seen that guy anymore, and he's already over 26 years old. TJ Hawkinson, he's fine as a tight end, but come on, he's a tight end. He's not a difference maker, like going to win you a Dynasty championship. And Derrick Henry might have won you a Dynasty championship this year. But this guy's now over 31 years old. He's going to start slowing down at some point. I'd rather just gamble on a younger Christian McCaffrey, again, taking the chance that he's healthy going into next year, and once again is a top running back. My next buy low is going to be Jameson Williams, currently ranked as the wide receiver 31. The wide receiver, you're telling me there are 30 wide receivers that are better than Jameson Williams in Dynasty, coming off a great breakout season this year with this Lions offense, still not even 24 years old. We know the Lions offense going to pretty much run everything back next year. Sure, maybe OC Ben Johnson will be gone, but it's fine. They'll bring in somebody else. It's not like this offense is going to completely collapse just because Ben Johnson leaves. Jameson Williams gives you so much weekly upside, the potential to win your Dynasty League. And I'd be willing to trade players like Jaden Reed, Brandon Ayuk, and James Conner. Again, Jaden Reed, just kind of like Jameson Williams, another kind of boom bust guy who doesn't really feel like Jaden Reed boomed very much this year, and he's actually a year older than Jameson Williams. Brandon Ayuk, I like him. I think he's a talented player. He's in a great situation, but he's coming off an ACL tear. We got to expect next year probably not going to be his best year, and he's almost 3 years older than Jameson Williams. And then James Conner, again, another one of these aging running backs that had a great season this year. He's under contract. They extended him, but this guy's going to turn 30 next season. There's a lot of risk here with James Conner. Just give me the younger wide receiver with upside. And then routinely in Dynasty, some of the best buy lows always are rookie wide receivers who didn't do a whole lot year 1, but are in a great spot to produce more in year 2, and that's Keon Coleman this year. Still not even 22 years old, attached to Josh Allen in this offense, showed flashes of what he could bring to the table, the upside he could potentially have. People give up on these rookie wide receivers way too soon. I mean, look at people gave up on guys like Nico Collins after 1 or 2 years and just said, nope, this guy's a bust. Now you wish you had Nico Collins. Not saying Keon Coleman is going to go the same direction as Nico Collins, but he's got the potential in this offense. He's got the upside we're looking for as a potential buy low who could turn around our dynasty team. And especially when I can give up guys like Cooper Kupp, Matthew Stafford, or Jerry Jeudy. Cooper Kupp going to be 32 years old this year. I mean, and look, he didn't even look good down the stretch. You can't trust Cooper Kupp anymore. Go flip him for a younger wide receiver like Keon Coleman. And Matthew Stafford, the same thing, did not look great down the stretch here. Getting up there in age, just give me the rookie wide receiver. And I know Jerry Jeudy just had a fantastic year, but really that was only in the games Jameis Winston played. He was pretty terrible outside of that. We don't even know if Winston will be back with the team next year. We know it's going to probably be Deshaun Watson under center to start the season, unfortunately, assuming he's healthy. So Jerry Jeudy, also 4 years older than Keon Coleman. Now I'll just gamble on the younger guy with upside. And I think this is a great time to go buy low on J.K. Dobbins. Only 26 years old still, so still, not like dust for running back. Plus, this guy has not had a lot of wear and tear because he's had a lot of injuries. Currently ranked as the running back 35 in Dynasty. That is crazy to me. This guy was a solid RB2 with upside every week he was healthy. He's in this great Chargers offense that we know wants to run the ball, wants to lean on the running game. No worries about Gus Edwards. No worries about Kimani Vidal. Maybe a little worry about Hassan Haskins stealing touchdowns, but that's very minor here. J.K. Dobbins can be a solid RB2 with a weekly upside for your dynasty team if you need that position, and he's not going to cost you a lot. Right now, I would be willing to give up my 2025 round 2 pick, assuming it's not super early. I would be willing to give up Jerome Ford or Ramondre Stevenson. Again, as long as that second round pick isn't like the 201 or the 202, even then I might do it, but I'd be willing to give up a second. Jerome Ford, look, I like Jerome Ford. He's a fine runner, but he's never going to be the workhorse running back here, and he's really only half a year younger than J.K. Dobbins, so just give me Dobbins. And then Ramondre Stevenson, slightly older than J.K. Dobbins, but come on, what's the upside in this Patriots offense? Sure, maybe they do something in the offseason to drastically improve Ramondre's situation. I don't know what that would even be at this point, but it's not a better situation than Dobbins. Just give me Dobbins. And now I'm going to lump a couple of year 2 wide receivers together here. These guys were rookies this year. That's Ricky Pearsall and Jalen McMillan. Currently ranked as the wide receivers 51 and 52 in Dynasty. Okay, I get Ricky Pearsall. He didn't do a whole lot till the very end of the season, and of course it took injuries for that. But man, Jalen McMillan was great over the second half of the season. And he's actually a year younger than Ricky Pearsall. Ricky Pearsall 24, Jalen McMillan only 23. I think McMillan is the guy I prefer between the two. I do like both of them. When we look at these situations, Ricky Pearsall, again, could be going into next year with Brandon Ayuk, maybe not ready to start the season, coming off the ACL. Debo might not be on the team anymore. There's definitely a path here for Ricky Pearsall. And Jalen McMillan, same thing. I know Evans is going to be back next year, but Chris Godwin, we're not sure about, coming off a major ankle injury as well. And I think Jalen McMillan proved enough this year that even if Godwin is back, he's going to have a role. So if you can go get any of these guys, they have the potential to give you massive upside in 2025. And again, I'd be willing to give up my 2025 round 2, assuming it's not super early. Amari Cooper or Keenan Allen. I mean, come on, Amari Cooper, over 30 years old, didn't even really do anything with the Bills. Can't trust this guy going into next year. And Keenan Allen, sure, he had a nice season this year, even though he's going to be 33 this year, but he's talking like maybe he might retire. If he doesn't, the Bears, maybe one of the LA teams. I mean, come on, it's time to move on from Keenan Allen. Let's go get younger with some wide receivers with more upside. And then I can already see you rolling your eyes through the camera, but man, Hollywood Brown is a screaming buy low right now. This guy is still only 27 years old, valued as the wide receiver 61 in dynasty drafts right now, attached to Patrick Mahomes. I get it. You're going to comment down below, I don't want Hollywood. He's always hurt. He always misses games, and that's fair. Totally understandable. But we're trying to gamble here on a guy who could potentially take our team over the top. We saw in those couple of games with the Chiefs coming back from injury how involved he was despite playing limited snaps. Remember, Rashee Rice coming back from an ACL. Xavier Worthy going into year 2. Sure, he'll probably be involved, but Travis Kelce probably going to be less involved. There is going to be a very defined role for Hollywood Brown in this offense next year. They're going to need Hollywood Brown. We got to bank on him finally staying healthy. And again, still only 27 years old. And I'd be willing to move a 2026 second for Hollywood Brown for sure. Jalen Warren or DeAndre Hopkins. I mean, I forgot DeAndre Hopkins was even a Chief, honestly, but come on, he's going to be 33 years old next year. Probably not going to be a Chief in 2025. And then Jalen Warren is already over 26 years old, never been a workhorse running back, probably never going to be a workhorse running back. He's just one of those like plug and play RB2s when you need them. Let's shoot for more upside with Hollywood. And then if you need a quarterback, I think Bryce Young might be the best buy low in all of Dynasty right now, whether you need a quarterback or not. Still under 24 years old, currently ranked as a QB 24. And it's not just because he had a huge week 18. I mean, yeah, he was great in week 18, but come on, lots of guys randomly go off in week 18. It's week 18. If you look at it from the time he came back after being benched, he scored 15 or more fantasy points in 6 of 9 games. And I'm talking about your typical 4-point passing touchdown. If you're in some crazy leagues, he scored more. But look, 15 plus points is pretty solid. It's not incredible. But if this guy is going to be your QB2 in a super flex league, or even your QB2 in a 1 QB league, he's well worth going buying low on. Plus, the upside is there for much more. Dave Canales, the Panthers, already saying, yep, he's our franchise QB. Now he's going to have a full offseason with Dave Canales to really work on his game and improve even more. Wouldn't surprise me if Bryce Young is a QB1 next year, and it's not going to take a lot to get him right now. You could trade somebody like Michael Penix Jr. or a guy I talked about earlier, J.J. McCarthy. Again, I talked about McCarthy. He's only a year younger here, but man, I don't think he's going to be starting for the Vikings next year, that's for sure. And look, Michael Penix Jr., I think he has potential. He's in this good Falcons offense, but he's a year older than Bryce Young, and he's much riskier. Just give me the younger Bryce Young. And then finally, if you need a tight end, I think you got to go try to look at Noah Gray right now. Only 25 years old, currently ranked as a tight end 27 in Dynasty. He was pretty solid this year, even with Kelce playing every single game. Look, Travis Kelce is at least 1 foot out the door, maybe 2 feet out the door after this season. We don't know. They've got Noah Gray under contract until 2027. He is going to be the Travis Kelce replacement. You want the tight end in a Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid offense. And Noah Gray has already shown that even if Kelce plays next year, he can be serviceable as a tight end. But if Kelce does retire, he's going to shoot up in value so much. And when all it's going to take to get him is a 2027 second, a tight end like Dalton Schultz, who is 3 years older, or a wide receiver like Adam Thielen, who is going to be 35 years old this year. Sure, he was solid, he was good, but come on, he's going to be 35 years old. Just go get Noah Gray if you need a tight end. He might be one of those tight ends that comes out of nowhere next year to help you win a championship. There you go. Those are the guys I think are the 10 best buy lows in Dynasty right now. I'm going to be dropping a lot of Dynasty content this offseason, so if you want to make sure you don't miss it, make sure you hit that subscribe button, click bell notification so you get notified every time a new video drops.